Okay, so here you've got another equation. It doesn't have any radicals in. It's got nasty fraction bits in. You will have seen questions like this at GCSE. It's similar, probably not quite on the same level, but certainly you need to find a way to add these fractions together, and you're probably going to end up with a quadratic equation. Now, the first thing to note, a lot of you with these types of equations, you kind of will have been taught to sort of do this and multiply and multiply and multiply and get the common denominator like that. Yes, that will get a common denominator, it will add the fractions, but the problem is it's going to be a lot bigger than you want it to be. If you look at these numbers, or if I just look at this, that is a difference of 2 squares. In fact, in maths generally, if there is a difference of 2 squares somewhere, you should factorise it if you can. So we've got 2x over 2 minus x, 2 plus x, plus 1 over x plus 2 equals 3. So then you can see this 2 plus x is exactly the same as that x plus 2, right? So actually, these two fractions could have a common denominator of 2 minus x, 2 plus x, right? All I'd have to do is take this particular fraction, and if I times it by 2 minus x over 2 minus x, that will give me a fraction with a common denominator of this, right? So I don't actually have to change this. And think, if I'd have times it by this, it would have made it, if I'd have times these two together, I would have ended up with a giant power. I would have ended up with an x cubed power, which I didn't want, and a lot of terms. So 2x over 2 minus x, 2 plus x, plus, so I'm going to have 1 times 2 minus x is 2 minus x, over x minus 2, or I'm going to just call that 2 plus x. So over 2 minus x, 2 plus x equals 3. Now we've got that common denominator we wanted, we can start to add these things. So just add the tops. So 2x plus 2, in fact I'll write it down. So 2x plus 2 minus x all over that denominator, 2 minus x, 2 plus x equals 3. Right? Not bad. So at that point, you want to be grouping these at the top. So 2x minus x is x, so you've got x plus 2 over, and now at this point I think I probably am going to put this into back into what it was, just so that is going to be 4 minus x squared equals 3. The reason why I'm doing that is because now I can see the end. I'm going to move this, I'm going to multiply by this, and I'm going to end up in a quadratic equaling 0, and hopefully something will factorise up. If I have to use the formula, I have to use the formula, but we're going to get this. So I'm going to say x plus 2 equals 3, 4 minus x squared. We're going to multiply by that. So x plus 2 equals 12 minus 3x squared. Now we're getting closer now. Make everything equal 0. You want your x squared term to be positive. It's going to go over here. So that's going to say 3x squared plus the x that was already there, plus 2 minus 12 is minus 10 equals 0. I try it and factorise that. So you're probably going to have a 3x and an x, quite handy because it's a prime number. So you only combinations of 10, well, you could have a 10 and a 2, or a 2 and a 10, or a 1 and a 5 and a 2. What am I talking about? 10 and a 1, or a 1 and a 10, or a 2 and a 5 and a 5 and or a 5 and a 2. Whatever is in here is going to get multiplied by 3 because of the effects of that. So 3, 30, 15 and 6. Just like that. Right. So you're looking for the combination that makes 1 when you add. Well, that's the 5 and the 6, which actually means 5 and 2. If you're looking at the signs, you want the 6 to be positive, which means the 2 is positive, and you want the 5 to be negative. So we're going to end up with 3x minus 5 x plus 2 equals 0, right? So if I get a new board, you're going to have x, or so 3x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals 5 over 3, or x equals minus 2. Right, but if you go back to the original equation, which I think I have somewhere here, over here, so the original equation, we had 2x over 4 minus x squared plus 1 over x plus 2 equals 3. So basically, if x equal 2, so if x equals minus 2, well, you've got a problem in here. In fact, you've got a problem in both places. So either way, minus 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Minus 2 plus 2 is also 0. So the f function is undefined. When I said a function, I mean as in this left-hand side, call that a function of x. If x takes the value minus 2, the function is undefined, so x equals minus 2 cannot be a solution. Cannot be a solution. Okay, now the rest of it we've been asked to use the GDC to verify.